Imagine a world you've never seen, a world 66 million years in the past. Giants ruled the skies, creatures with wingspans wider than a car, soaring through air that humans would never breathe. Below them, a perfect world, untouched, alive, and utterly unaware. In the forests below, something ancient was stirring. Look up. Creatures that walked this earth stood as tall as buildings, gentle giants that ruled not through fear, but through sheer, impossible size. And they were not alone. But on this day, something felt different. The air, the light, something was wrong. Even the birds knew. They scattered to the winds, fleeing an invisible threat. The ground began to tremble, slowly at first. Then, stronger. And then, he arrived. The king, 6 meters of pure, unstoppable power. Look into those eyes. Intelligence, calculation, hunger. His roar shook the very air, a sound that said, "This world is mine." Every creature here knew their place, and his place was at the top. He moved through them like a king through his subjects, unchallenged, unafraid. By the water's edge, life gathered, drinking, feeding, living. Beneath the surface, ancient oceans teemed with monsters of their own. And in hidden nests, mothers tended their eggs with a care that transcended time. The young learned, watched, prepared for a future that would never come. Some creatures needed no teeth. Their armor was their strength. But far above, beyond the clouds, beyond the sky, something else was coming. A rock, 10 kilometers wide, flying through the darkness of space. It had traveled for millions of years, and now it had found its target. Earth, beautiful, alive, and directly in its path. On the ground, life continued. Great herds began their ancient migrations. While beneath their feet, tiny creatures hid in burrows, too small to matter, too small to notice. Families stayed close, protected their young, as they had for millions of years. Hunters soared, dived, caught their prey with practiced precision. The sun set on another perfect day, another day in paradise. But when it rose again, it would be the last sunrise they would ever see. Morning came. The world woke, unaware that these were their final hours. High above the atmosphere, gravity reached out and pulled. The air began to change, pressure building, something coming. Wind picked up from the wrong direction, unnatural, urgent. Animals grew restless, instinct screaming danger they couldn't understand. The sky began to change color. Even the fearless looked up, confused, for the first time uncertain. Birds flew in chaos, their ancient navigation systems useless. Mothers gathered their young close, one last time. The small ones ran, hid, deep underground where it was safe. The temperature began to rise, the air itself growing hot. Water evaporated, lakes shrinking before their eyes. And then they saw it, a new star in the daytime sky. Growing, brighter, larger, closer in their eyes, the reflection of their doom. Everything stopped. For one frozen moment, the entire world looked up. A mother touched her child. One last gentle moment of love. The sky turned white, blinding, burning. Their last sight, their last breath, their last moment. 10 seconds, 5 seconds. The king took one final breath. And then, light, sound, fury. The asteroid struck with the force of 10 billion atomic bombs. A shockwave raced across the planet at supersonic speed. Oceans boiled, vaporized in an instant. The Earth's crust cracked like an eggshell. Fire reached into space itself. And within 1,000 kilometers of impact, nothing survived. Nothing. The sky turned red. The air turned to fire. Molten rock fell from the heavens like rain. Forests that had stood for millions of years burst into flame. Those who survived the blast ran, burned, died running. Even the king fled, but there was nowhere to run. From the ocean, a wave rose, 1 kilometer high. It raced across the land at the speed of a jet. Coastlines vanished, erased in minutes. The strong tried to protect the weak, but nothing could protect them from this. The heat, the suffocation, the slow realization, this was the end. Days passed. Fires burned on. Ash rose into the atmosphere, blocking the sun. The sky grew darker and darker until the sun was just a dim red memory. And then it disappeared completely. Darkness, perpetual twilight. The world had gone cold. Temperature plummeted, below freezing. Without sunlight, plants couldn't make food. They withered, died, turned to dust. The herbivores starved, searching for food that no longer existed. Weeks became months. The giants fell, too weak to stand. They collapsed and didn't rise again. Families died together, huddled close in the cold. A mother used her last strength to touch her baby, and then let go. The king became a scavenger, eating the dead to survive. But even the dead ran out. He grew thin, weak, ribs showing through skin. Ice covered everything, a frozen tomb. And then, the last T-Rex closed his eyes, and the age of dinosaurs ended. After 165 million years. But deep underground, something still breathed. Tiny, furry, warm-blooded, alive. They ate what little they had stored and waited. Each heartbeat a victory, each breath defiance. Above them, the surface was a frozen hell. But below, life held on. Insects hibernated, frozen but not dead. Frogs waited in ice, hearts barely beating. In the deep oceans where light never reached, life continued as if nothing had happened. And in the soil, seeds slept, waiting. Years passed, then decades, then centuries. The ash began to fall, and one day, a single ray of sunlight broke through. The first light in years. Rain fell, washing away the ash, cleansing the earth. Water collected, clean and pure. Ice melted, slowly, drop by drop. The world that emerged was barren, empty, dead. Fossils marked where giants had fallen, silent memorials. We should pause here, remember them, the ones who came before, and then, from the dead soil, green, a leaf, small, fragile, but alive. One became two, two became 10, 10 became a million. Life spread like paint across a canvas. A tiny mammal emerged from its burrow, blinking in sunlight. For the first time in its life, it felt safe above ground. No predators, no giants. The world was empty. The world was theirs. Insects returned, pollinating, spreading life. And somewhere, a bird sang. Life had won. From those tiny survivors, something extraordinary began. Mammals grew, diversified, filled the emptiness. New forests rose, different from before, but beautiful. Flowers bloomed for the first time, color returning to the world. Some mammals grew large as the dinosaurs had been. Some took to the trees, developed hands, eyes that could see. Continents drifted, mountains rose. The world reshaped itself. Ice ages came and went. Life adapted, always adapted. Through it all, evolution continued, refining, improving, from tiny shrew-like creatures to primates. From primates to apes. And then, one stood up, looked at the horizon. Hands crafted tools. Rocks became weapons. Fire became friend. We discovered fire. And fire changed everything. And eventually, us, modern humans, Homo sapiens. Today, we dig in the earth, finding their bones, brushing away millions of years, revealing their secrets. We stand in museums and imagine them, try to picture their world. Children reach out to touch their bones, amazed, terrified, wondering. That hand reaching for ancient bones is the hand that would never exist if they hadn't died. We watch the skies now, tracking asteroids, learning from their fate. We're the first species on Earth that can see the threat coming. From space, we see our home, blue, fragile, precious. 7 billion humans light up the night. A new kind of life. We're just as vulnerable, just as temporary. Stand where they stood. The giants are gone, but their world echoes. We walk among their ghosts, the tiny survivors that became us, then and now. Different rulers, same planet, same fragility. Look up at the stars tonight. They're still there, still watching. Life finds a way. It always has. It always will. This is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of ours.